It was a night like no other in the small, isolated village of Greywater. A dense fog had rolled in from the sea, swallowing everything in its path. The villagers, accustomed to the eerie weather, had locked their doors and drawn their curtains tight. But this fog was different. As the clock struck midnight, a strange sound echoed through the mist. It wasn't the howl of the wind, nor the creak of old wood, but something more unsettling. Whispers, faint, almost imperceptible at first, but growing louder with each passing moment. In a small cottage near the edge of the village, young Emily sat by the fire, clutching an old book. She had heard the tales, stories of spirits lost at sea, cursed to wander the earth, their voices carried by the fog. Her grandmother had warned her of the whispers in the fog, but she had always dismissed them as just that, stories. But tonight, those stories felt all too real. Emily's heart raced as the whispers grew louder. She could almost make out words, pleas for help, cries of despair. She wanted to believe it was just the wind, but deep down, she knew better. She stood up, peering out of the window into the fog-shrouded night. The fog pressed against the glass as if trying to seep inside. Suddenly, the whispers stopped. The silence was deafening, more terrifying than the whispers themselves. Then, from the heart of the fog, a shadow emerged. It was the figure of a man, tall and thin, with hollow eyes that seemed to pierce through the night. Emily gasped, stepping back from the window. The figure didn't move, just stood there, staring. And then, slowly, it began to walk towards the cottage. The whispers returned, louder and more frantic, filling the room. Emily covered her ears, but it was no use. The voices were inside her head now, drowning out her thoughts. With trembling hands, she grabbed a candle and lit it, hoping the light would chase away the darkness. But as the flame flickered, the whispers grew even louder, as if they were angry. The door rattled on its hinges, and Emily knew she couldn't stay inside any longer. She threw open the door and ran out into the fog. The cold, damp air clung to her skin as she raced towards the lighthouse, the only place that might offer her safety. The whispers followed her, growing louder with each step. She could feel them closing in, the cold fingers of the fog reaching out to grab her. Finally, she reached the lighthouse. The door was open, creaking on rusty hinges. She stumbled inside, slamming the door shut behind her. The whispers stopped, leaving her in an eerie silence once more. Panting, she leaned against the wall, trying to calm her racing heart. But the silence didn't last. From the shadows of the lighthouse, a voice spoke, a voice unlike the whispers. It was cold, cruel, and filled with malice. "You cannot escape the fog, Emily. It is part of you now." Emily's eyes widened in terror as she realized the truth. The whispers were not just voices carried by the wind, they were the souls of the lost, and now she was one of them. Trapped in the fog, doomed to wander the earth, whispering her despair to those who would listen. The scream fades to black as Emily's scream echoes, merging with the whispers in the fog.